Hello, my SACHEU boos. Welcome to another episode of Sarah kicking herself off a PR list. I'm your host, Sarah, or SACHEU, or Sarah Chung, and today we're gonna rank skincare brands. I got this idea from James Welsh and Hiram, and I feel like I already have a skincare brand tier list in my head, so I just want to rank them and give you guys some thoughts about some brands that I've never really talked about on this channel before. So the tiers that I've made is God tier. These are the brands that I can buy from, shop from, and know for sure that it'll be good for my skin. Next, we have SACHEU approved. Most of their products are great, but there might be one or two things I don't love about the brand, but it's still overall an amazing brand. Meh is I don't feel strongly either way, or I feel so strongly about the positives and negatives that I'm just split in the middle. Donation pile is actually a thing that exists. I have a donation pile to give to friends who might want to try these products, but I personally wouldn't love to put this on my face. Next, we have keep a 10-mile radius from my face. This is a skincare brand restraining order. These are products that pretty much I would never purchase. I also probably wouldn't even give this to my friends. Last tier is wouldn't even give this to my worst enemy, to be honest. And I could really only think of one brand that's that bad. I'll let you guys guess what brand I'm talking about. Just leave it in the comments before you move on with the video. Now, before I get into it, I just want to do a disclaimer. I am not a dermatologist. I am not an esthetician. I have worked very closely with cosmetic chemists, but I myself am not certified. At the end of the day, I'm just a really passionate consumer. I need to do a little bit of generalizing, but just know that just because a brand is a little bit lower, that doesn't mean they don't carry products I actually love. But that's enough rambling. Let's go. So first, we're gonna start off with COSRX. COSRX is a Korean brand. There's a reason why they've always been very high up for me in terms of K-beauty, and it's because they're a very ingredient-oriented skincare brand. All their products are under $30, and they're not afraid to be experimental either. They use certain ingredients that aren't as popular in Western markets, like snail mucin, and they started using those way before the Western market caught on. They also have great options for fragrance-free chemical exfoliants. I remember back then, before exfoliants became popular, they were one of the only brands that carried BHAs and AHAs at a lower price point. The one thing that I have to criticize is a lot of their products are in transparent packaging, meaning that especially if they're antioxidants, actives, it could break down under sunlight, but it's not a huge concern, especially if you store these products in the bathroom away from sunlight. They do use essential oils in some products, but as long as you buy the products that you know are appropriate for your skin, I think it's a really great brand. I'm gonna put COSRX between God tier and SACHEU approved. And the reason why it doesn't hit God tier completely is because I can't just blindly shop from COSRX and just know that every single product would work for me. But that's a very personal preference. It's still very high up there. I think it's a great brand. Next, we have Paulas Choice. I have been such a huge fan of this brand for so long. And the reason is because they were one of the first brands to go fragrance-free, alcohol-free, and focus more on ingredients first. They also focus on education for skincare, and they have been doing this for so many years. They have a wide range of products for different skin types. They also have an ingredient library. You can go on Google and just type out the ingredient, Paulas Choice, and you will find a page with a short description of the ingredient and its properties, and you'll find research articles at the bottom of the page to back up the claims. They also have a product review page called Beautypedia, which includes makeup, skincare, tanning products. It's a pretty comprehensive website. I also love that they focus a lot on protecting the skin barrier, introduce chemical exfoliation to a generation that used St. Ives apricot scrub. None of the skincare tips I found online really worked for me until I discovered Paulas Choice products. I have to put them in God tier. I love them so much. The only thing is they are pretty pricey. A lot of their products are between $20 to $50, especially the retinols, the anti-aging products. Paulas Choice will always have a special spot in my heart. Next, we have Naturium, which is created by Susan Yara. They use both natural and synthetic ingredients, which is great. Beneficial skincare ingredients can come from both natural and synthetic sources. Biocompatibility is something that they talk about a lot on Naturium's website. It's just a fancy way of saying they formulated these products with your skin structure in mind. They're very elegant, meaning they're not too oily, they're not too sticky. My favorite product by them is the niacinamide jelly cleanser. I think Naturium is also in SACHEU approved, but very close to God tier. Next is Glossier, the millennial brand. Aims to democratize beauty, uses very minimal packaging. Most of their products are in the $25 to $40 range. I want Glossier to just shit all over my life. Like, I love their marketing, their branding. I think it's amazing. I also really love their makeup products. The way I would describe their skincare products is consumer friendly, but not skin friendly. Meaning the experience of using these products, from the packaging to the imagery related to it in marketing, all of that just drives you to use the product, but the products themselves aren't actually great for skin long term. I think Glossier is a really great example of a brand that I wouldn't usually go to for great skincare products, but still carries some products that I really love. So the Glossier Bubble Wrap is an eye and lip cream that contains a lot of plant extracts, avocado oil. It's essential oil free. It's great for moisturizing your lips and your eyes. Because I really technically only like one product from this brand, I think it would have to go in the donation pile. Next up, we have The Ordinary. I think The Ordinary as a brand changed the skincare industry completely. They have very minimalist ingredient list, and they essentially has allowed consumers to be their own chemists, and it really demystified the use of actives to a lot of skincare consumers. In an industry where like serums usually cost $20 to $40, they have amazing high concentration actives for $8, $12. It's become so much more accessible to so many more people. That part I really love. The part I don't love is whether or not using high concentration actives is a good thing depends on how educated this consumer actually is. The Ordinary has at-home chemical peels that contains 30% AHA, 2% BHA, and it could seriously damage your skin barrier if you're not careful with using high concentration actives. But if you're using it correctly and you know what to avoid if you're using strong ingredients, it can unclog your pores, brighten your skin at a very, very low price. I'm really torn about the brand, but I do think in general they are doing more good than bad. A lot of the misuse I don't think can be blamed on the brand. So I think I'm going to put The Ordinary in meh category, hovering on SACHEU approved. So even though they are very affordable, I just think there are better, more elegant formulas out there. Next up, we have the Inky List, which I would compare a lot to The Ordinary. It's a teeny tiny bit more expensive. I just really love their mission of demystifying skincare and making skincare easier and more affordable. All of their products are in opaque packaging, which I love. They have an amazing salicylic acid cleanser for oily skin. The oat cleansing balm is one of my all-time favorite cleansers. They have services on their website that teaches you how to build your own routine for your skin type and your specific skin issues. They also have numbers on their packaging that tells you which step of your skincare routine you're supposed to use that product. I think I'm gonna put the Inky List on God tier. I just think they're doing so many things right, and I love their brand. Next up, we have CeraVe. So CeraVe is not very exciting, but she needs to exist. It's like when you're traveling and the TSA took all of your skincare products, you landed and the only place you can go to buy skincare is Walgreens. CeraVe is there for you. You can build a solid skincare routine start to finish with just CeraVe products. My favorite product by CeraVe is their healing ointment. Not only is it a great skincare product that contains hyaluronic acid, ceramides, petroleum jelly, it is the occlusive moisturizer. You can use it on your feet, your lips as lip balm. You can use it all over your face if you live somewhere extremely dry and you need something very occlusive for your face. You can apply hand cream and then apply the healing ointment and then put on a pair of gloves and you will have baby soft hands in the morning. They also have retinol products that are really great. Usually they're a little bit more expensive. I've seen skincare TikTokers shit on them because they use silicones, which is not a problematic ingredient unless you specifically know that silicone triggers your acne or clogs your pores. Silicone is a very common ingredient in all types of moisturizers, even high-end moisturizers. I just think CeraVe is a very solid brand, and I love that they're finally getting the hype that they deserve. CeraVe is sitting right here at SACHEU approved. Next up, we have Glam Glow, and the only reason why I decided to include Glam Glow is because for some reason it just never goes away. To me, Glam Glow is irritation station. They use a lot of witch hazel, lavender oil, lemon peel oil, and they specialize in novelty items that feel like you're doing something because it makes your skin feel tingly. By the way, if there's a really strong tingly feeling, that's a sign of irritation, not the product working. I don't think Glam Glow is doing anything special that can benefit your skin. And they also focus more on instant skin transformations, which is not how your skin is supposed to work. Skin progress takes time. I personally wouldn't use this on my face, so I'm gonna put this in the keep a 10-mile radius from my face tier. Next up, we have Tatcha. It's a Japanese brand. They use a lot of rice extracts in their products. I think their best products are their cosmetic products. Case in point, their Silk Canvas Primer is amazing. It gives you such a smooth canvas before you apply your foundation, especially on oily or combination skin. I don't think it's surprising that so many brands try to dupe it. Their Luminous Dewy Skin Mist is also really beautiful for adding that little bit of life back into your skin after you've done your powder, foundations. They use pretty low concentrations of alcohol, so if you're not particularly sensitive, I think you can still safely use Tatcha. I think their biggest selling point is using Japanese ingredients, but there are are a lot of Japanese brands that do the same that Tatcha does at a lower price point, and sometimes they do it better. But I do really love their branding and their aesthetic. So I'm gonna put Tatcha in the meh category. I will use certain products, but probably not my first choice when I walk into Sephora. Next up, we have Glow Recipe. They use a lot of flower extracts, plant extracts. Their signature is kind of using a certain fruit or plant to brand each skincare product. So they have their watermelon sleep mask, which smells like watermelons. And my favorite product by them is actually their avocado retinol mask. It has a very smooth texture, and the retinol releases over a period of time. So you can use it even if you have sensitive skin, and it actually makes my skin feel so moisturized in the morning. They have a lot of antioxidant rich formulas. Some of their products do contain fragrances. They're natural fragrances, but they're still fragrances. And another issue is the glass packaging, and a lot of them are also in jar packaging, which exposes the product to air and makes the product at best less effective and at worst contaminated. The thing I love the most about Glow Recipe is their branding is so cute. Probably the donation pile. I think they're a very aesthetic, beautiful brand. I'm just not wowed by the actual products they have. Next up, we have Mario Badescu, my favorite skincare brand. If you're new to my channel, I was being sarcastic. I think the biggest sin they committed is not disclosing the inclusion of steroids in their formulas, causing many consumers to go through steroid withdrawal. They're marketed towards teenagers. You're basically pushing skincare with steroids in them to teenagers without their knowledge. And there's actually been a class action lawsuit. So the fact that they're still in business is so wild to me. A lot of their products contain alcohol, essential oils. For me personally, even without the steroid inclusion, I just think there are ethical qualms about pushing irritant heavy skincare products onto teenagers who might already feel insecure about their skin. So Mario Badescu, I wouldn't even give this to my worst enemy. Last but not least, I want to talk about CRAVE Beauty, which is created by Leah Yu. I really love their skincare philosophy, which is pressing reset on skincare. There is a sunscreen, there's a toner with glycolic acid, and the CRAVE matcha cleanser. It's so good. It's one of my all-time favorites. You can tell a lot of thought goes into all of her products, and she doesn't take the minimalism in the ingredient list, but rather in the product line. I think CRAVE Beauty is a brand with a lot of integrity, and that's really important to me. So I'm gonna put CRAVE in SACHEU approved. So that is my completed tier list. I know there's still so many brands that I haven't covered yet. Let me know in the comments what brands you want me to rank next. If you think I fucked up on this tier list, where I fucked up, how I fucked up, and how you would rank these instead. Thank you guys for tuning in for some chill skincare content. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.